Okay, good evening, everyone. Good evening. Good evening. Well, I know it took a long time to get started. I think about 45 minutes or so, but I'm glad that we all, have been meeting nice people and having good conversations and making us all feel good about getting this first showing. There's always kind of bugs and hurdles that you got to get over in the first showing of something like this, and so I think we're all glad that we could get through this together. So I'm Rich Ellifritz. I live in Stillwater, Oklahoma. I moved down here about 4 years ago to start a PhD program in sociology. The summer before I moved down to Oklahoma, I watched a film called Zeitgeist on the internet. It's one of these internet documentaries. Some kook kind of said I should watch, and after watching it, I said, "Building what?" Yeah. And I think that's a question that I did. I literally did. I think it's a question that a lot of us are familiar with. There's a campaign with that name now, and
Charcoal Girl brought down WG7.
That's right. So I, like a lot of you, I think, spent a lot of time on the internet with books in my lap, many sleepless nights, kind of researching this kind of stuff. Right now, I'm working on my dissertation to complete my PhD program, and I'm trying to develop the sociology of conspiracy, which is one of the reasons why I'm here tonight, because people like Jonathan Kay will go out and write these books about the 9/11 truther movement, who is a part of this kind of kooky conspiracy underground. And I'm trying to understand that for myself and kind of come up with a rebuttal against things like that. And so having done studies, for instance, in Manhattan on 9/11, 2011, with the 9/11 truther movement, I'm finding in my own research that the 9/11 truthers are actually a very down-to-earth, grounded, scientific community that is constantly offering research, constantly asking people to check the facts for themselves. And that night, I got invited by one of these folks to go to the premiere or pre-screen showing of Experts Speak Out, in which this film that we're about to see was in one of its initial phases. And it was one of those times where I was blown away by all the facts and evidence that I think people of our caliber constantly are sharing with each other, which is an essential feature of the scientific community. So I don't consider us a conspiracy community or anything like that. I in my own work, consider us, and I say us, a very scientifically oriented community. And community at that, people who share each other's beliefs and experiences. So that's just a little bit about me. We'd like to know how you heard about this event or how you came to know about it. So how many of you heard about it on a Facebook ad? Have a Facebook event? So there's a Facebook event that was...
Yes.
Yeah.
We played Bobby.
Bobby's fault.
It's all Bobby.
We should put Bobby on the list. Okay, so what about your friends' networks posts on Facebook? Your friends, are you networked in this? I made a call out. Nobody responded to my Facebook post. How about radio? Anybody heard it on the radio? One person on the radio? Where was it on the radio?
90.1 Austin, Texas.
90.1 Austin, Texas. How about an email blast? So an email from the architects and engineers for 9/11 Truth. You got from A&E, 9/11 Truth. What about a local 9/11 Truth group? An email from a local 9/11 Truth group? Okay, so a few people from, okay.
Meetup.
Yeah. How about the We Are Change meetup? So, okay. So you're hearing about this from multiple sources. So the We Are Change Facebook group or website? Okay, so right now I'd like to introduce Richard Gage, the host and star of our event. We are very proud this afternoon to host the world premiere of a powerful new documentary, 9/11 Explosive Evidence, Experts Speak Out. The film's producer and director is also the CEO and founder of Architects and Engineers for 9/11 Truth. He has been an architect for 24 years in the San Francisco Bay Area and is a member of the prestigious American Institute of Architects. He is a professional willing to place his credibility and reputation on the line And I personally understand this because I constantly lose colleagues' respect when they find out that I question the official story of 9/11 and I'm engaging in that questioning with my research. Richard has endured substantial personal sacrifice, and I think that's something a lot of us here can identify with. We try to bring this up as friends and family members, trying to help them question the reality that's given to them. Richard is a tireless and tenacious advocate for questions that all too few are willing to ask, and truths that fewer are still willing to face. Truths that may shake the very foundation of their worldviews. His deep concern about the destruction of the 3 World Trade Center high-rises on 9/11 began after hearing the startling conclusions of a reluctant 9/11 researcher, David Ray Griffin. Dr. Griffin was interviewed that eye-opening day in May of 2006 on KPFA's Guns and Butter radio program by Bonnie Faulkner in Berkeley, California. This changed our speaker's life radically and launched his own unyielding quest for truth about 9/11. Inspired him to found the organization Architects and Engineers for 9/11 Truth. Architects and Engineers for 9/11 Truth now numbers over 1,700 architects and engineers and 14,000 others, all demanding a new investigation into these catastrophic structural failures. Mr. Gage has presented to over 150 packed audiences, to hundreds and thousands of people whose worldview has been irrevocably altered by this myth-shattering information that we're all about to take part in. And I'm sure that tonight's film will uphold this remarkable tradition. He's a personal source of inspiration to me, and I consider him to be a beacon of truth and a patriot, and I really do. Please give a warm Oklahoma City welcome to Richard Gage.
Even the movie?
That was a rousing applause. I really appreciate that. Thank you, guys. Next time I come to Oklahoma City, we want to rent the arena and put 20,000 people in there. And we want to do the same thing with another movie that has been released recently. How many of you are not familiar with the movie A Noble Lie? If you haven't heard of this movie, raise your hand. If you haven't heard of it, that's, okay, 1, 2, cool. Well, guess what? How many of you have heard of the movie A Noble Lie? How many of you like it? That's pretty good. We're going to talk about that tonight, too. I have been very busy since 6 months ago when we released the pre-release version of this film, tonight's film, the world premiere here in Oklahoma City of the final edition of 9/11 Explosive Evidence Experts Speak Out. We have assembled 43 technical experts in their field, high-rise architects, structural engineers, metallurgists, physicists, etc., to come together. Well, we went and found them in a 2-week spree with 24 different flights across the United States in order to film these guys. And how many of you saw the original release of this film 6 months ago on September 11th? So some of you did, I know, yeah, a couple. And then we've done a lot of work since then. We've added dozens of videos. We've added hundreds of photographs and diagrams to back up what the experts are saying. And we are in quite a bit of personal debt and financial debt to the folks who, most of them volunteered their time and effort to make the film. It's extraordinary. Francis Battalion, in particular, Chuck Smith, and Brian Good, and many others have put a lot of hours, countless hours, thousands and thousands of hours into this film. It doesn't look that way. It's not perfect. It's not going to win a film festival award like Noble Lie has, and continue to do so. But it's our best effort from our relatively amateurs working at it. So let me know what you think. I'm excited about it because it puts the information out there in a way that's never been done before. And we, in addition to having the technical experts, we have a section after that with psychologists, 8 of them, from among our petition signers, who really address the issues of denial that we're all facing. How many of you have tried to talk to family members and friends and face a wall of denial? They look at you like you're a complete idiot. When in fact, you're the one with the accurate information. Isn't it kind of mind-bending? It's very, very difficult, and these psychologists really help us to wrestle with this issue. So I'm very excited to present that part of the film to you also tonight. And then family members. We have 4 family members in this film who have come forth and called for, even demanding an investigation into the collapses, really the destruction, the explosive destruction of all 3 of these World Trade Center high-rises on 9/11. Before we begin, though, let me ask you, how many of you are unfamiliar with this 3rd high-rise that was destroyed on 9/11? It's called World Trade Center 7. Relatively unfamiliar with this. Nobody? And how many of you pretty much, thank you, 1. You can be honest with me.
World Trade Center 7 and first body.
It's like you're going to learn all about it tonight. But for tonight we have 1 person, so that's great. And how many of you pretty much believe the official story about this destruction of the Twin Towers themselves? There's a few. How many of you are unsure? You've heard a few things from loved ones and whatever. You're here to find out what's really going on. You're unsure about what brought the Twin Towers down. Just relatively unsure. 4. All right, I appreciate that. How many of you believe the towers were brought down by controlled demolition already? Okay, why didn't you guys bring your friends?
I did.
You did. Did you raise your hand as being unsure?
No.
Were you unsure?
No.
You just believe her.
No,
You already know, but I'm not talking about those kind of friends.
Okay.
We want you to bring the kind of friends to these kind of events that think you're absolutely crazy. That's how we spread the evidence about the destruction of these towers, about the conspiracies that are in fact going on. Don't come to these events alone or with a friend who already agrees with you.
What if you don't have friends that are of that caliber? I don't want those kind of friends.
You don't have any friends, period.
What? Tonight's film should help you. I mean, the DVD will help you. And you can buy this DVD of tonight's film after the film. Well after the film, because we don't actually have any here, because they didn't get shipped here. But what you can do is go to our website, 911truth.org. By the way, how many of you do not have the brochure that Chelsea's holding up in her hand right now? Can you pass those out to everybody who doesn't have one, please? Hold your hands up real high. Higher. 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 Okay, keep them up. We'll get them to you. That brochure has our website on it. Our website has a store. On that store, you can buy this DVD. Because we didn't get the DVD shipped here tonight, we're going to give you major discounts on the DVD if you order it like tomorrow or the next day. And all you have to do is remember the coupon code. What is it? It's called Oklahoma 5. Why 5? It's arbitrary. Completely arbitrary. Somebody think of a reason why Oklahoma 5. 5. What does the number 5 mean to you?
That's a good one.
No idea?
How about 5 congressional districts?
Yeah, 5 congressional districts in Oklahoma?
Yeah.
It wasn't my idea.
Sure.
Is
there 5?
Oh, the Oklahoma 5 you got thrown in for petitioning, though, what you're talking about? Is it a reference to... That's 3, that's right, okay.
What's, you have 5 big congressional districts in Oklahoma?
Yeah.
Okay, that's why it is. I knew there was a good reason.
Good job.
Okay, so we're doing great. You can get the DVD for $18. Otherwise, in the store, it's going to cost you $22. So that's a $4 deal. Hey,
Woo!
everything counts. I hope you enjoy the film. I'm very excited to be here to present it to you. And let's get started. Go ahead, Bobby, roll it. And stick around afterwards. We're going to have conversation, questions and answers. This is the best part.